Hi, everyone. I wanted to take a minute to go over how to do the labs. I've mentioned that you need them done. I've mentioned that you can get to them from the lab assignments section here, and that the write-ups will be attached to each lab section. But I want to go over a little more detail how I want you to go about getting these done and what it means, how to read the labs, because there's a good amount of information stored on these sheets, and I want to make sure that we're all seeing the same stuff and we're not missing anything. So when you go to do a lab, you click on lab assignments to get you into this section, and then you're going to open up whatever lab you are working on. In this case, lab 1. This is the write-up for lab 1. I'll click on that, and it'll take me to a new screen where I get to read it. Now, what's going to happen? Let me dissect this, what the lab assignment looks like. This is going to be the title and what it is we're going to be doing. It should map to the chapters in the book. The goals, the things that you're going to do in the lab, and then I'm going to give some information about how I want you to do it. So I'm generally going to give you a list of exercises down here, list of activities, and I'll go over those in just a second. And then I'm going to ask you to take screenshots of certain steps and paste them into a single document. I will show you exactly what I mean. As soon as I finish going over this document, I'll show you exactly how I would like to get this done. Okay? That single document is what is going to be uploaded to Blackboard. I don't want to see 15 screenshots uploaded one at a time. Put all of the screenshots into a single document and then upload that single document to Blackboard as your submission for the lab. Okay, so as I had mentioned in the previous video, we are going to need to make some changes to the default VMware virtual machine. If you have not yet downloaded and installed VMware Workstation or gotten the Windows 10 disk image from Microsoft, there are videos here from Pat Fader that detail exactly how to do that. They walk you through getting all the software, getting the images, and getting everything up and running. If you follow these, this second one, this installing Windows 10, this is like a 25-minute video where he doesn't just get Windows, he actually gets it and then does an entire install and walks you through the whole install. Don't worry about that. The things I want you to do for your install are covered in the previous video, in the previous lecture. So you can just watch the first few minutes of this one to get how to get the Windows image if you have not done so already. Okay, so these two are just to help you through if you have any questions on how to actually get the software and install it. If you already know how, you can ignore that. Configuring the VM. The first video that I have for this week is actually taking you through that, taking you through configuring the VM and getting the Windows 10 install started. Here's the link to it. There's also a link in Blackboard. But the video tells you the things that you need to do to your virtual machine. This is a list of the things that I cover. I'd like, if you can, to have 2 processors set for the virtual machine. If you can, I'd like to see 4 gig of RAM. 2 gig is fine, but you need at least 2 gigabytes of RAM available. And then hypervisor needs to be enabled. So this is all the prerequisites. This is everything you need to do before you start doing the lab. Now, thankfully, this week's lab is pretty short. So this is probably half of the work that you're going to do. The rest of it, as I scroll down, is what most labs are going to look like. What I'm going to do is I will tell you which activities. We will not necessarily do every activity in the book, but I will tell you which activities I'd like you to do, and I will tell you if there are screenshots to take. If there are, I will be specifying what steps. So in this case, the first activity, installing, I do not want any screenshots. The second activity, I also do not want any screenshots. Yay! Okay, but the third one, I've got 3 steps. These 3 steps are the screenshots that I would like you to take. Okay? So I'll get to that in just one second. Back up here, if there are any changes from the book, so activity 1.1 or 1-1 in the book has some 26 steps. If there are changes or things that I want you to do differently or don't want you to do at all, I'm going to list them here in bullet points. So for example, steps 9 and 10, you can completely ignore them. They don't relate to the stuff that we're doing and to the disk that we have. The other steps are just some changes to the version of the operating system. The book was published last year. Microsoft has been making changes throughout the course of the year, and so the way we end up doing some of these things are going to be a little bit different. Mostly the same, but not entirely the same. So if there are changes, I will have them enumerated here in the steps. Okay? So the way I would like you to approach the labs is look at which activities I'm asking you to do, look at the changes before you start doing the activities, or you're going to find yourself halfway through an activity and realize it's wrong, and that you have to go back or start over and clean up, and sometimes that makes it much more difficult to complete. Okay? So once you have completed the activities, or the steps, excuse me, that I have listed down here where I'm asking for a screenshot, what I would like you to do is get to that step, complete that step. Usually it'll be pretty obvious. Usually there'll be some window or something that I want you to take a screenshot of. This is basically showing me you have gotten to this point in the lab, you've completed it, and this is where we are at. Okay? So when you get to these steps, I want you to take a screenshot, and I want you to put that screenshot into a document. So now I'm going to show you what I mean by that and how I would like you to do that. So here in my virtual machine, I'm going to open up a program. I'm going to open up WordPad. Now, WordPad is an advanced version of Notepad for those of you who have not dealt with it. It does a couple things that Notepad does not do. One of the things it does is it handles images. So for submission, you can use any file format that you would like, as long as all of your screenshots are in a single file. One of the simplest ways to do that is to take a WordPad document, because WordPad comes with all Windows installations. It's free. Take your WordPad document, type in what screenshot you are going to be doing. So in this case, we'll say 1-1 step 6. This is not true. I just made this up. But 1-1 step 6 is going to be the screenshot that I'm going to take. You then take the screenshot and drag it into the document. So I'll do that. To take screenshots, Windows has this nice thing called the snipping tool. The snipping tool is a simple application that allows you to take pictures of stuff on the screen. You can either select it by dragging. Here in modes, they give you different options. Freeform snip is basically you get to drag. You get to make a circle, and then there, that's what I'm snipping. See, it comes off this funky thing because I can't cut very well. If I do a rectangular snip, I can drag and drag, but it'll always make it a rectangle. So if I wanted to drag that of this particular window, I can just drag down and hold it down on the mouse when I'm dragging. I should reiterate that. When I do a rectangular snip, I click down and hold down the left mouse button, and then I drag, and you can see the rectangle being created. Not a triangle, a rectangle. And then when I get to where I want it to snip, I let go of the left mouse button, and it takes a screenshot, takes a picture of whatever was inside my rectangle. Another thing I can do with the mode is what's called a window snip, where I can say, I'm just going to take a window. Notice right now, if I have the desktop selected, the entire window is red. The entire window is being selected. If I just hover over WordPad, now the WordPad window is being selected. So if I were to click on this, it would just take a picture of the WordPad window, which can be convenient if you're just trying to get a window picture. So once you click on it, it's going to open up the image here inside the snipping tool. Inside the snipping tool, you can do things like write on it. Right now we have a pen, a blue pen. So if I started writing using, again, just the left mouse, when I push down, I'd be pushing the pen to the paper. I could write something on my image. Once I'm done with my image, and this is the way I want it to be, I can save it. File, save as, and it defaults to the pictures folder, which is fine. So I will just say, we'll call this step 6, because I think that's what I called it in the document. Step 6, hit save, and now I can close this. At this point, I want that image in here, in my document, because this is the document that I'm going to submit. So I need to open up the pictures folder. So down at the bottom of Windows, this icon here is the File Explorer. This opens up an Explorer that allows me to get at my folders on the computer. So Pictures folder is where the stuff from the snipping tool gets saved. Click on that. And here it is. There is my image. And you can even see a little high in the preview icon. So all I have to do is take it, click on it, drag it up into WordPad, and voila. I now have the image stored in a WordPad document. This is what I would like you to do for your labs. Basically, you're going to be working in the book. You're going to be doing the activities. When you get to steps that I've asked you to take pictures of, use the snipping tool to take a picture of what I've asked, basically of the screen. You can take a picture of the entire screen if you want, or just the thing that you're working on. That's your choice. I would like you to label it in some way. It doesn't have to be this, but let me know activity 1.1 step 6 or whichever activity, whatever step. Make sure I know what image I am looking at. If you don't label your images, I don't always know what you've tried to take a picture of. So label it and then type it in and then drag the image in, and that's it. And then after that, hit enter, you can see this is where the cursor is. Maybe I'm going to go to step 15 next. And then I would go to step 15. I would take a picture of it with the snipping tool. I would drag that picture underneath here, so on and so forth. That's it. That's all I want you to do for your labs. Okay? So just to recap what we were talking about, these lab assignments are going to have, let me get that out of the way. These lab assignments are going to have information in the beginning, any prerequisites, anything I need you to know ahead of time. And then they're going to be a list of the activities that I would like you to complete from the book, including any changes to the activities. And then if screenshots are necessary, I will have a list of steps that I want you to complete. And these are the ones I want you to take pictures of. Okay? If you have any questions about this, please feel free to email me. Otherwise, you can go to it. I will have the rest of the labs up shortly. Lab 1 is up and ready to go now. And that's it. I hope you all have a good week. And again, I'm going to say this. You're going to be sick of hearing me say this, but any questions, any concerns, or you just want to talk, email me. Email me and let me know. Okay? All right. Have a good week. Bye.